I'm Colette Miller, and we're off to Brescia. This time, I'm best known for my work with the Global Angel Wings Project. And those are human-sized interactive angel wings that I paint around the world to remind humanity that we are the angels of this earth. I'm in Brescia, Italy right now with area docs. It's a really well-structured little type of modern village here. I was really fortunate to be invited and recognized by them to place the wings here on this white brick wall. I heard it's a pretty old wall. There's a lot of texture. Those are some of my favorite locations. You know, the walls with texture. They give like the painting a kind of 3D effect, you know, a more three-dimensional effect. So I'm really happy with these wings in Brescia. I've, done different types of art like film and music and always painting, but I always found a kind of inner sanctuary as a child when I was painting or drawing. Like I kind of felt like a connection to who I was. After having lived in New York and other cities, I ended up in Los Angeles because it was an American city that was still a world city. And street art was really coming into its own during the time I moved out there. And there was so much empty space and empty walls. One day, I had this kind of vision, I would call it, and I envisioned these big angel wings, or big divinity wings, I called it, and to myself. And I was trying to reflect on the common divine in all humanity. I just kept thinking as I drove around, gritty Los Angeles, and I was like, that would just be great for humans to see. I just want to do something for humans to see and be part of. And at first, honestly, I wasn't going to act on it, even though my intuition was telling me to act on it. I had this kind of insecurity, and the insecurity was, oh, it's not cool enough, it's not dark enough, it's not hip enough, it's not punk enough. And then I was like, you know what, that's just my insecurity talking, and I'm going to act on something authentic to me and what I believe in, despite maybe my peers laughing at me and thinking, oh, she's just doing cutesy little girl stuff, little angel wing stuff. And so I acted on it because I had the courage to just own who I was. And so I did in 2012 in downtown Los Angeles. I had put them up kind of self-authorized or legally. And so I had friends looking up and down the street to see if police were coming. And that weekend there was a street festival, and instantly and right away, people started interacting with them, and someone even brought a stool there and a step for the children, and there was a line, and that led to other illegal wings and different places. I went to Kenya, and I brought some angel wings there to do, and I did some in the slums there in Nairobi, Kayole, where these kids were sleeping in a courtyard. And that also was a very first important installation because the whole spirit of the project was geared to, truly geared to being kind of a responsible, kind of charitable kind of human being. That was the whole spirit of it. So those are some of my most important installations, like I did after the riots in Baltimore, or after this homeless guy was killed on Skid Row. I did some up in Juarez in drug cartels after there was a lot of violence and Cuba, when Cuba first opened up. I've also done Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest building in the world. I paint the wings in general at home in my studio. I work on them for like a week, and then when I go to the location, whether the surface is wood or brick or cement or metal, I use some more paint to adhere them to the wall, and then I finish them on site. Like I paint them and I shape them, and sometimes I'll paint the background, and I'll sign them, and I'll shellac them and varnish them so that they're protected. I started that way because I had to really work fast in the early days because I only had a few minutes in case I was interrupted. You know, I work with a lot of different color now, and ultimately the color is all about balance and the environment. You'll notice on the earlier work, they were mostly all purples. I picked those colors because the purples in the early days, mostly because they really spoke about human enlightenment and divinity in the chakra system. I really try to reach a certain type of Zen, a feeling of wholeness when I'm finished with all the colors. Well, social media, ironically, which I wasn't a part of when I started the Global Angel Wings Project, I didn't have Instagram or anything. It really catapulted the project to a different level, and I don't probably think Global Angel Wings would be this popular if it wasn't for social media. But that was not the intention. When people come across the Global Angel Wings, and most of them come across them without knowing anything, like they stumble across them, I just want them to pause for a minute and to take that moment to think about the good in humanity. To all the artists out there that don't know why they're doing it, don't ask that question. Just do it. Just do it, and listen to your own voice, because that's all that really matters, because you're like a snowflake. There's only one of you. Ignore the noise and listen to your own intuition and vision. And sometimes that is hard because you're confused. You're like, is that what I really want to say? Is that? And so you rewrite, and that's also part of the process. You edit. But then maybe it crystallizes and you have that moment of, yes, I want to leave that mark there, and I stand by it.